Today's topic is Landscape Evolution Theory by L.C. King. British geomorphologist L.C. King proposed his theory in 1957. This theory basically explained the landscape evolution, that is, changes of the landscape through the time. The theory is popularly known as King's model of slope development, theory of pediplanation, or Pediplan circle, or theory of slope replacement, and also known as epigen circle. Epigen means the behavior of environment changes the system, changes the gene. He inspired by the deficient concept of erosion. Therefore, his theory is basically the cyclic concept and show it is segmented. His study is segmented into the three parts: young, mature, and old stage. L.C. King proposed his study for the arid to semi-arid climatic condition. For the energy, for the denudation process, he included two important attributes as a source of energy, that is flowing water and the mass wasting. The theory is based on the three P rules, and first P is the pediment. Pediment is a segment of slope, segment of a hill slope, that is pediment. And second P is the parallel retreat. Parallel retreat is the process described by the L.C. King that is responsible for the landscape evolution. And the last P is the pediplan. Pediplan is the output, the ultimate product of the landscape evolution. Pediplan is the convex-concave, a low relief features landscape. So pediment is the first part. Pediment evolved through the parallel retreat, and ultimate product is the pediplan. This is the three basic P explain the landscape evolution theory of L.C. King. According to L.C. King, the first step of his theory is the pediment. Pediment is a segment of slope, and ideal slope includes the four component. There are four components. First one is the waxing slope, second one is the free face slope, third is debris slope, and fourth is waning or concave slope. According to L.C. King, four different segments are the part of the landscape, that is the waxing, preface, debris, and waning. Four different type of mass wasting process continues for a long time. In waxing slope, the mass wasting process is soil creeping. In free place slope, the mass wasting process is plucking due to very steep slope. And third part, the process of mass wasting due to decline of the slope due to comparatively less steep slope. That is the process is debris, deposition of debris, and third due to velocity and the content of fluid. The fourth is the slumping. Slumping is always related to the backward rotation of mass and flowage. So four different kind of the part of the or the segment of the slope, and there are four distinct different type of mass wasting continues for a long time. Therefore, the first segment is creased and the process is soil creeping. Second segment is free face, process is plucking. Third segment is debris slope, process is deposition. And fourth is waning slope, process is slumping and flowage. And this process continues for a long time, and for the evolution of landscape, the process continues is known as scarp retreatment. There are four distinct type of slope and four distinct type of mass wasting, and it continues for a long time. There is a declining trend of the absolute relief. That means there is a migration of the slope. It's migrated downwards. that is the migration of slope, but retreatment of the slope. Now the process, that is the parallel retreat of the slope. This is the basic form, four type of slope and four different type of mass bursting. First one is the soil creeping, then preface, then plucking and debris slope, deposition of debris, and the flowage and the slumping. And three distinct kind of mass bursting continues for a long time. Then there is a decreasing trend of the absolute height. Absolute height is gradually decreasing. If we identify that decreasing trend in a linear aspect, then that red line indicates the decline trend of the slope. Next, black line, then brown line. This showing the decline trend of the slope. That is nothing but the migration of slope via parallel retreat. And this image with the green line explain the retreatment pattern that is parallel to each other. Each green line moving downward, migrated downwards. That is the retreatment, and retreating line is parallel to each other. That's why this process is known as parallel retreat theory by the L.C. King. And ultimate, the black line, that is the black line, that is the pediment ultimate converted to the pediplant. That's washing slope become falling downward, and free phase slope through the plucking process moving downward or migrating downward and become this zone. And third, debris slope through the deposition become third zone, and ultimate, that is the pediplant. So due to parallel retreat process, due to mass bursting, it continues for a long time. Pediment, that is black line, is the pediment zone, that is the segment of heel slope gradually converted to the pediplant. This is the basic theory of L.C. King. Therefore, the main process of this theory is the curve retreat and the pediplanation. The four, basically this principle based on the four attributes of slope, and main process are the mass bursting, soil creeping, plucking, deposition, and flowage and slumping. And a decline of slope occurs through the downward movement of the slope, that is parallel height, parallel retreat, decline of the absolute height. And here I would like to mention that L.C. King avoid the diastrophic activities, volcanic activities. He believed in the crustal stabilities like W.M. Davis, and ultimately slope reaches to the convexo-concave landscape, which is known as pediplant. The whole process explained through the diagram, that is pediment converted to the pediplant, that is the pediment, and four attributes of ideal slope, and that is the mass bursting process continues in the four different segment, and parallel retreat process started and process going on, and ultimately it is converted to the pediplant. In L.C. King's theory of landscape evolution, not widely applicable for the vast area or a large area. The entropy concept of energy is not clear, it is quite obscure, and it is applicable in arid and semi-arid climatic condition. To explain the segment of the slope or the part of the slope, it is perfectly applicable for the small region. And near end product, because it is a cyclic concept, that's why there is no end, that is near end product of the landscape evolution theory is Barnard and the Enselberg.